to my final live before Miss Universe 2020. And this is going to be really the live about my predictions about Miss Universe 2020, but not my predictions in the way that you think it is. I'm going to predict something differently. Of course, I'm opening it up to all of you to join me today and give me your comments and scream out the names of your favorite contestants. This is what it's all about today. But it's so much more than just about predicting who is going to be the winner. This is really about making a statement about where is Miss Universe moving? Where is this contest going to continue to evolve to? And I think that we can already see a lot of changes since the time that I competed, and even since the last 10 years, we can see definitely a lot of changes. So I would like to ask all of you to tell me, what do you think have been the biggest changes this year, and where do you see the pageant moving towards? Hi, Maria Elena from Costa Rica. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. As you can see, I'm all dressed up and I'm waiting and super ready to watch Miss Universe pageant later on tonight, which is going to be morning, my time here in Thailand. This was actually supposed to be a sunset talk with Dean and I, but it got rained out on the beach, so we couldn't do it, and I'm actually doing it from home, and Dean is already sleeping. So we are definitely going to wake up super early, I think 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, so that we can watch the show live. So I can see a lot of you are tuning in and you're shouting out all of your favorites. So this is fantastic. Just please tell me who you're rooting for. And also in the questions box, I would like you to put down your message. What do you think this pageant is evolving to, and what do you think this pageant is going to be like going into the future? So here are my predictions of what I think we're going to see tonight, tomorrow morning. I think that we're going to see obviously a lot of women empowerment, because it is a continuing trend in Miss Universe, since they are talking about women empowerment with the all-female selection committee, and you know, there were two hostesses in the preliminary competition, the two former Miss Universes from South Africa, Demi Lee and Zoe Bini. So I definitely see that continuing, and there's probably going to be a big underlying message of woman empowerment throughout the whole show. I think what we are going to see, as always, are surprises and contestants that no one really considered before as, you know, front runners or favorites will surprise us, and they're going to get into the top 20. I definitely predict that, because we see that every year, and here's the reason why that happens. We don't know what happens behind closed doors, right? We see the young women showing up in their swimsuits, in their evening gowns, we see them on social media, but we don't see the interview. And the interview is really such an important part of the competition. And as a judge myself, that I've been a judge in many pageants, I know that when I fall in love with a contestant during the interview, I give her really high marks regardless of whatever imperfections she may have, because we all have imperfections. But that's the thing, and this is what I always teach young women and all of my students in Win the Crown Masterclass, is that make the interview your secret weapon. Make the judges fall in love with you. And really, there's many techniques that you can do that just by being yourself, being authentic, but also paying attention to the judges, paying attention to the people who are interviewing you, and not just answering questions, but involving them into a conversation and showing them your authentic side, your funny side, your real side. And so whenever I judge, if I fell in love with a contestant during the interview, of course I'm going to give her higher marks in swimsuit and evening gown, even if she didn't have the most incredible best body, or if she didn't have the most incredible gown or presentation, I will still give her high marks because of that interview. So let's just all take a moment and not, get all upset about your favorites getting left out, because it also happens, and we can always expect that some of the big favorites can get left out of the top 20. That's just a fact. And unfortunately, it is what it is. Miss Universe is a beauty pageant, and beauty pageants are unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. We just need to know that whatever happens, it's meant to be. It really is. Because even if your favorite, your contestant didn't make it to the top 15, that doesn't mean that she's not going to have an incredibly successful life moving forward. And she's still going to do exactly what she set out to do from the beginning, with the crown or without the crown. So let's just remember that it's just a pageant, and it's okay. Even if your favorite doesn't make it, it's all good. What else can we expect? I think we can expect some great evening gowns, of course. I can definitely tell you that Michael Cinco has prepared something stunning for Miss Universe Canada, and I simply cannot wait to see what that is. And I'm firmly expecting to see her in the evening gown competition. But again, as I said, it is a beauty pageant. We never know what's going to happen. She's obviously one of my heart favorites, because I trained Nova since the time she was competing for Miss Universe Canada and now going into Miss Universe. So of course I want her to make it, right? I'm also training Miss Universe Australia, and I fell in love with Maria's attitude, with her mindset, with her personality. I'm training Miss Chile Universe as well, Daniela, who's such a beautiful woman inside and out, and she has so many fantastic qualities that would make her a fantastic Miss Universe. So, these three are my favorites. They're my girls, they're my babies. How can they not be my favorites? Just like you all have your favorites. So, just to remind everyone that whenever I post or I make a post to commemorate one of the contestants or to congratulate them on their good performance, please don't be upset if I didn't mention your favorite. There are, I think, 70 or 80 contestants, so how could I possibly please every single fan out there who wants to see their girl's name being mentioned? But as much as I can, I try to incorporate all of the contestants, at least in some way, and mention them and give them a little shout out and some motivation. So yes, I think the other things that we can expect, let's get down to the winner. This is my prediction, is that this year it has to be someone who is going to make a statement with her win. This is not just a beauty pageant anymore, right? So this is about a strong message. This is about a woman who will be the role model for millions of young women. So being a beautiful woman is just not enough, right? I think that in the time that I was competing, perhaps it could have been enough, although it wasn't just about beauty. In the times when I was competing, I think it was a lot about personality, stage presence, presentation, the way that you speak. So she had to be a great speaker and all of those things. But now it's even more. You have to have a platform, you have to have a message, you have to have social media presence, you have to have a brand, right? You have to be about something. And, this is a really, really important moment in history right now. The woman who is going to be crowned Miss Universe 2020 is going to be someone who is not your standard beauty queen, somebody who is going to challenge the standards of beauty, somebody who's going to break the molds and break this glass ceiling for the women who are coming up behind them. So mark my words, I guarantee that this year is going to be someone whose Miss Universe organization and the fans and the selection committee are going to say, yes, she is the one who is going to inspire the young generation to believe that it is possible. And of course, I know what you're thinking. My contestants can do that. Absolutely. Every single one has a message. Every single one is about something. But I'm talking about really challenging what we all think a Miss Universe should be, right? So, in the past, I know that some young women who have said to me, oh, I'm not tall enough, so I know I could never go for Miss Universe. I'm not good enough, or I'm not tall enough, or I'm too tall, for example, or something like that. Well, most of the time it's I'm not tall enough. So, for instance, I'm just bringing out an example, but someone like Miss Australia, imagine if she wins and all of these young women who are 5'3" and under and over, a little bit over, a little bit under, who are going to say, wow, now I know that this is possible. Now I know that I can do it too. If Maria did it, I know that I can do it too. So this is what I'm talking about. This win is going to send a message out there to say to the world, anything is possible. And I think in our times that we are so challenged with so many uncertainties and so many concerns and so much anxiety in the world, Miss Universe needs to be someone who's a symbol of hope, a symbol of, I believe that it can happen. I believe that this is possible. And so, of course, there's other girls who are out there, and all of them have their own message and their own way that they can inspire others. And I cannot wait to see who that is going to be. And whoever wins, I know for sure will deserve it. I see a lot of you saying Indonesia, and I got a lot of comments from people who say, Indonesia deserves to win. Yeah, she does. She does deserve to win. So does Canada. So does Mexico, right? So does India. They all deserve. And I have to say, I spoke to all of the contestants that I spoke with for the Win the Crown live segments. They all have that message. They all have that purpose. They all have that incredible passion for what they're doing. And so every single one of them that I got to know, I believe deserves to win. And so, of course, you're all asking me, who is my top 5? And it's really hard for me to say because I have 20, 30, 40 favorites. It's really, really hard to say. But especially the girls that I got to know personally and the girls that I got to speak to on the live segments have a special place in my heart. That's just, of course, why wouldn't I? But right now I see people asking me about Vietnam. She's got a strong message, right? She was the victim of sexual abuse. She's also going around the country teaching young women to defend themselves. Great role model, fantastic. We don't know if she's going to win. Nobody knows. But would she deserve it? Absolutely. Miss Myanmar, I just got so inspired. I just went onto her profile page. And unfortunately, this is the first time I actually got to read about her story just now leading up to Miss Universe less than 24 hours. But I was blown away. If this girl wins, what kind of statement is that going to make to the world? I mean, not only is this girl a survivor of breast cancer, she's got scars on her body that she shows proudly and is teaching people about the value of self-love and self-acceptance, but she's fighting for her country's rights. She's fearless in fighting for equality, and she is out there showing her face on social media, standing up to the authorities and saying that she believes in freedom and she's fighting for that every single day. On top of that, all of her luggage got lost. She didn't get a chance to wear her beautiful, amazing, stunning gown that she was supposed to wear. And yet she still killed it in the evening gown portion. That face, so beautiful. I think she would be an incredible example, an incredible role model, and a fantastic Miss Universe. What do you guys think? I see all of you are saying, what do you think about Colombia? What do I think about Argentina and Brazil? They're gorgeous women, gorgeous women. I didn't get a chance to speak to Colombia, but I did get a chance to speak to Argentina, and she's got an incredible story as well. I think her story of being overweight when she was younger and losing that weight, getting herself in shape, and loving herself. It was incredible. I loved having the conversation with her where she talked to me about looking in the mirror every day and saying that I love you. It just gives me chills and goosebumps every time. She would be a fantastic Miss Universe, speaking about things like that. Miss Venezuela, who has another message of self-love as well, who lost one of her breasts due to surgery. And, having to go through that must have been terrible. And yet here she is on stage, shining her brightest and showcasing her best. So I think that Miss Venezuela would make a fantastic Miss Universe. Natasha, Miss South Africa. Another South African, why not? I'll take it. I would be super happy with Natasha winning as well. She's an entrepreneur. She's got a fantastic woman empowerment message as well. And she's just so beautiful, such a doll. Nepal, yes, I know that you are asking about Nepal, and she totally blew me away. I think she was definitely one of the best in swimsuit. That body, that walk, the facial expressions, her energy was just so infectious. Could totally see her winning as well. And Peru as well. Peru just was flawless in every single aspect. Miss Mexico, flawless in every aspect. Brazil, flawless in every aspect. Colombia. I mean, these are the girls that come from pageant countries, and I would expect nothing less of them. Of course, they know how to work the stage, how to work the runway, how to showcase the best of themselves. India, okay, people are asking me about India. She is absolutely a role model for everyone. Great, strong message about women farmers. She speaks well. She would be a fantastic spokesperson, not only for her country, but for the world. Yes, and Thailand. I don't know why people are telling me that I have a prejudice against Thailand. I absolutely don't. I've put her into all of my, favorite performances in swimsuit and an evening gown. I am from Thailand, so why would I have a prejudice against that? Right? So I think Thailand is just as deserving as anybody else to win. She's absolutely beautiful and stunning. I haven't heard her speak that much yet, but I'm sure she can definitely find her way around any subject that is going to be presented to her. Let's see. But I think she would be a stunning Miss Universe. And I think Thailand is ready. They're ready for their third Miss Universe. Costa Rica is beautiful girl. Loved her in every aspect. And again, if she wins, sets another standard. She's a programmer, right? I think she's one of the most beautiful programmers I have ever seen in my life. And working in a male-dominated field, again, it would give young women hope to say that, you know what, I don't have to be just smart. I can be smart and beautiful, right? Then we have Philippines, of course, and Indonesia, both of whom I absolutely adore. I didn't get a chance to speak to Rabia on Win the Crown. I wanted to, and she sent me a message. She wanted to be on my segment, but unfortunately we couldn't make it work due to her busy schedule. But I could definitely see Rabia as Miss Universe too. Why not? Indonesia is just so well prepared. She knows exactly what she's doing. And I always say that it's not usually the most beautiful girl that wins. It's usually the most prepared girl that wins. So you know, it shows when you prepare and when you have everything in order, you can win. Also, Nicaragua seems to be quite, a dark horse in the competition. I remember when she won her national pageant and I noticed her right away. I thought she was absolutely stunning, such a beautiful woman. And I do believe that she has a great chance as well. Anybody has a great chance. That's the thing that we have to understand. Sometimes we can say our favorites and we can make an opinion and believe what we want to believe, but we don't know what goes behind the stage, what goes behind the scenes. We don't know what the universe has in store for all of these women, right? So there's no need to get upset. There's no need to put anybody down. Just support your contestant and that's it. That's all you really need to do. I love also Dominican Republic. Beautiful young woman. Stunning in every possible way. And I loved her performances. I think that she has a lot of potential. And if she wins, I'll be behind her 100%. And Panama, Carmen, I was actually a judge at Miss Panama Universe 2 years ago when Carmen was a contestant and she was first runner-up. And I have to say, I couldn't make up my mind who I wanted to win in Miss Panama because all the young women were so spectacular. And when I saw Carmen holding hands with Mare, who was the eventual winner of that year, I just couldn't tell who it's going to be because I gave equally good marks to every top 5 contestants because I said, how could I possibly choose? Each woman deserves to win and I don't want to be the one who has too much of a say in their destiny, right? And when Carmen didn't win that year, I felt bad for her because I felt like, she really, really wanted it. And the following year when they assigned her as Miss Panama Universe, I was so happy. I was just so happy for her because I knew that, she had a dream and that dream came true. Now she gets to compete at Miss Universe. So whatever happens, Carmen, you did it, girl. You made your way to Miss Universe. Very well deserved. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen for you. With or without the crown, you are the winner. You're the winner of your people and you're the winner in my heart as well. So go Panama. You guys are asking me about Myanmar. I just talked about her. I love her so much. Her attitude towards everything that happened in her life and everything that happened in Miss Universe, like losing her luggage and all of that, is just so inspiring. It's so inspirational. And I can see that she's grateful for every single thing that is happening to her, regardless of all the negative things that are happening. So I believe that gratitude is one of the keys to being a winner, not just in life, but also in a pageant. And I'll tell you something, when I was competing, I felt that gratitude was the reason why I won, because I was grateful every single step of the way through the competition. No matter what happened, when my shoes arrived also late and they were 2 sizes too big, when I chipped a little part of my tooth and I had to compete with a chipped tooth, all of that just didn't even faze me because I was so grateful. I was just like, I am living my dream right now. I'm at Miss Universe. What more could I possibly want? People are asking about Cambodia. She's fantastic. Such a spunky and fun young woman. I love to see her strut the runway, and hopefully she is going to make it far. And, I see a lot of you are saying your top favorites: Colombia, Mexico, Indonesia, Philippines. They're all fantastic. But why don't we also talk about some of the dark horses, as they call them, right? Some of the people, some of the women who are not on everyone's list. Like, for instance, Romania. Can we just say for 1 second how fantastic she looked in her evening gown? Absolutely beautiful, Miss Romania. I also would like to say Miss Italy looked fantastic. What a great body in swimsuit. And she looked good in evening gown too. Who else? Miss Cayman Islands, who I spoke to and won the crown. She's beautiful, and I think she did a fantastic job. Haiti, also, I noticed her. I noticed Haiti, and I think that her evening gown was just perfect for her. Loved it. And Jamaica, of course. How could I forget Miss Jamaica? Michael Simone. She could be, you know, the one to take it all. You never know. I think she's beautiful. She definitely has what it takes. I think so. Beautiful gown. She did a very good job, and I'm pretty sure she slayed the interview, because when I spoke to her, her message was super clear and I loved her. Iceland, Elizabeth, of course, and Denmark. These are the two girls that not a lot of people talk about, but to me, they have great personalities, and I think they could definitely go far. Singapore, I love her hair. I think a Miss Universe with that haircut would be just perfect, and she's got a great message as well. Malaysia is fantastic. Loved her style and evening gown, and she's just such a beautiful soul. I only got a chance to speak to her on WhatsApp a little bit, because we were planning to do our live, but she had to leave for the US and we didn't get a chance to talk. Who else, guys? Who else? Tell me. Yeah, Costa Rica is great. Brazil, Vietnam is a doll. Venezuela, of course, she's from Venezuela. We can't expect anything less than what she's giving us, which is fabulous. France. I loved France. I noticed her in swimsuit, more so than an evening gown, because the evening gown I felt took away from her beauty, and the hair and the gown didn't accentuate her beauty. But I loved her presentation and swimsuit. Yeah, Puerto Rico, gosh, she just can't do no wrong. She can do no wrong. Also has a very interesting story about her Meniere's disease that she got diagnosed with, which is something very inspiring, that she's able to compete and perform on stage with that. I think that's incredible. She's a great speaker. Pageant Innovation, hi Malik, good to see you. Yes, Canada is an amazing speaker, and her story of reuniting with her family after 20 years and her fighting for equality in Canada and around the world, her message of love and tolerance and acceptance. You know, she gets bullied so much, probably more so than any other contestant this year. And seeing how she handles it is just an inspiration to me, and should be an inspiration to everyone. And could you imagine if Canada wins? It would be the third crown for Canada. It would be my girl who I trained. I would be so happy, and that would send a very strong message. You know, a lot of people said that two, you know, girls of African descent could not win back to back, but why not? It has been done before, so it can be done again. So let's see. I think it would be wonderful. All right, so I hope that so somebody says, I don't know, Jen Melendez says, I don't know, but I really have a gut feeling Miss Australia will win this year. Girl, I would be so happy if Australia wins this year, because all the hard work that we did leading up to this would pay off, and it would really make my heart just explode with happiness for Maria. I think she deserves it. All right, so, you know, like, we also can't forget people like girls like, you know, that we don't really talk about, but maybe they could surprise us. You know, girls like Miss Russia and Ukraine. What about those girls? Or Miss Slovak Republic? I think some European countries could definitely surprise us and get into the top 15. Just because they're not in the top favorites doesn't mean that they're not good enough. I think they're just as good. Every single woman on stage was beautiful. Miss Cameroon also, I think, will be a big surprise, but I would love to see her. Maria of the Universe. Bahamas. I think Bahamas could definitely make it. loved her swimsuit presentation with the flowers and the hair. I think she could surprise everyone, and deservingly so. All right, guys, I know you're asking me, Venezuela, what about her? What about her? I just talked about Venezuela. I just talked about Colombia. I talked about all of these girls. So if you want to watch this again to hear me talk about your favorites, just wait until I finish, and then I'm going to post the live on my feed. All right, let's go to see a couple of questions if we can, or okay. I know a lot of you are asking me about meditations. I just posted a bunch of answers about anxiety and meditation and how to control overactive thoughts. You can check my stories where I talk about that. Okay, well, here's a good one. There's so many. Okay, wait. It's not really working. I think there's too many questions and too many comments, and now my Instagram is stalling. Ansh was asking, can you share some experiences? Ansh Mish was asking, can you please share some experiences before the final show, the nerves, the excitement? Okay, so I'm actually going to tell you about a story backstage after we got chosen into the top 10. And in my year, it was top 15 first, and we competed in evening gown. Then the top 10 was announced, and we changed into our swimsuits, and we were waiting backstage before the swimsuit competition so we could go one by one on stage. And the way that I remember it is that I just remember a lot of the other contestants in the top 10, they were just paralyzed with fear. They looked like they were deer caught in the headlights. Not all of them, but some of them. Like most of them they were looking really scared. Like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I can't believe I'm about to walk on stage in front of everyone. And I think the nerves got to a lot of them. So I just remember kind of dancing backstage and saying, girls, can you believe it? We are top 10 at Miss Universe. This is incredible. We're so lucky. We are, out of all the contestants, we're the top 10 at Miss Universe. How exciting, how amazing. Let's do this. Let's rock the show. And I remember just being excited. I remember I couldn't wait to hit the runway. I couldn't wait to, present myself and to showcase how hard I worked on my body. And yeah, I think I do remember definitely giving a little pep talk behind the scenes to some of the contestants who were in the top 10 with me. And after the top 10, of course, we were announced into the top 5, and then we had to change again. And then, so we had to change twice, from evening gown to swimsuit, and from swimsuit back to evening gown. So that was a lot of fun. Okay. Okay, I got a question from Memeologist who says, hi Natalie, can you say countries that are non-sash factor? Which country do you think will be on the lead? You know which country I think could really be in the lead is Curacao, because she did a really good performance in both swimsuit and evening gown, especially in evening gown. I was wowed by her performance. And I believe she's one of the girls who in her story, she said she's been diagnosed with autism. Again, it's a very, very hot topic these days, and it needs to be spoken out about more. And definitely, if she wins, it would be a great message. So let's see, maybe Curacao. So here's a question about back-to-back from Lisanella Zarus. Can South Africa get a back-to-back? Natasha is really strong. I think anything is possible. I absolutely think that back-to-back is possible. We've had a back-to-back with Venezuela before. Nobody thought that that was going to ever happen, but it did. And so why wouldn't this be able to happen? I think if there's even a 0.0000001% chance of something happening, that's still a chance of it happening. So yes, it is possible. And Natasha is incredible. I would be so happy if she won. All right. Do I keep in touch with all the candidates? Yeah, as much as I can, but it's really hard because we all have so many messages all the time, and it would be impossible to talk with everyone. But we try as much as we can. Okay. All right. Why is there a physical requirement to provide only 5 foot? Okay. So here's a question. Exactly. Right. So here's a question from Esha Rana. Why is there a physical requirement needed for pageants? I'm only 5 foot, so I can't participate. Well, if Australia wins, if Maria wins, she's 5'3", then I think you're going to believe that you can participate. And I know some countries have that requirement about the height, but if Maria wins, I think there stands a chance for all of those countries removing that requirement and allowing girls of any height to participate. So this is exactly what I'm saying. We need a Miss Universe who's going to break some standards, who's going to break some rules, ruffle some feathers, and is going to come out inspiring so many people, right? So I hope that you get to participate one day. 5 foot is nothing to, is not, it shouldn't be a requirement. Everyone can be beautiful. All right. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'm getting way too many questions, but I really appreciate that you all came and you watched and you tuned in and you left your comments and you sent your love. I really appreciate. Okay, let's just do one more. From Jur C. How did you describe yourself once they called you your name as a finalist? All right, so let's just go back to 2005 and the moment that we were all standing on stage, all 80 plus of us, and we were waiting for the top 15 to be announced. And I think I was announced as the 4th one. So I didn't have to wait for that long, thankfully, because if I had to wait until the very end, and if I was the last one to be announced, I think I would have a heart attack. But being announced felt kind of like everything was right in the world. It felt like I believed it. I knew that was going to happen. I envisioned it. I knew exactly what I was going to do, how I was going to react. I knew I was going to put my hands up in the air like a winner. I knew that, and I even visualized it just like that. And so when I heard my name being called, it wasn't, of course, there was relief, there was happiness, there was a sense of pride and excitement and exhilaration. But the main feeling was like, I've done this before. I already knew that was going to happen. So it just kind of felt like a sense of everything was in the right place at the right time, and I was in the right place at the right time. Like a sense of, yes, it should be like that. I knew that was going to be like that. So I really recommend to anybody who is competing, any of the girls who are watching right now, just visualize yourself getting called into the top 15, into the top 10, into the top 5, and really just live through that. Live and breathe that moment of how will you react? What will you feel? What kind of thoughts are going to go through your mind? What kind of sensations are you going to feel in your body? Like maybe adrenaline coursing through your body, like a little shakiness or goosebumps or whatever. So that's what I would recommend, is that if you want to do really well in the pageant, believe it with all of your might, with all of your senses, and just picture it in that other alternate reality as if it's happening right now in the present moment. And it will happen just like you imagine it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you from all of you around the world who tuned in, who sent your love, who sent your great energy. And I hope that your favorites make it into the top 20, into the top 10, into the top 5. And I know that the right girl is going to be crowned Miss Universe 2020. It cannot be the wrong girl crowned. The destiny, the universe has a divine plan for every single young woman who's competing tonight. And so don't worry, there's something really great that is happening for every single contestant. Lots of love. I'll see you all very, very soon. Stay tuned for so much more from everything that I'm going to discuss in the upcoming weeks and in the upcoming months. I'm here to help you win in life and in love. This is not just about pageants. This is me wanting to see everybody being a winner in their life. So stay tuned. Please follow me if you're not yet, because I have lots of great content about how to love yourself, how to feel like a winner, and how to just get the most out of this incredible life that we get to live. Thank you. Lots of love, and see you all at Miss Universe tonight, tomorrow morning. Bye.